Hi everybody, it's Claire back with another art journal video. So I'm going to be playing with some of Dina's new release, but I have just been replacing all of the droppers in my gloss sprays, apart from the neon ones, with sprays, which means I have some empty packaging. So this is what the replacement sprayers from Ranger come looking like. These are the packets. Now, I had a little idea for a journal page. So I think sometimes it's really easy to just throw this away. Obviously this is plastic and then it'll go into landfill. So my thinking was, can I add these onto a journal page and use them to tuck tags into? Don't know. Can I decorate them with gloss? Can I make tags out of the paper in the journal? So do you know what I'm going to do? Hold your breath or look away. If this upsets you, I'm going to tear some pages out of here. The channel, our wonderful leader, she's always tearing up journals, isn't she? Oh yeah, that's easy. I might just do it so that I leave that bit on the spine as well, because that'll just protect the journal a little bit. And then, I can do something with that, maybe. Right, let me find a page where I can work. Let's maybe go here. So I'm going to cut this into tag sizes that will fit inside these pockets. I think maybe 3 will work. Perhaps I can cut these down as well. Cut the little bits off the top. I think these could be really fun to play with. So I'm just going to cut that down a little. That's straight. Well done, Claire. Yeah, it's going to be quite nice. So I'm going to save these that I've got left over. I might use them again. I don't know. Now I'm thinking, is there anything we could use that for? Don't think so. So let's bin that. This is how, as mixed media artists, we end up hoarding piles and piles of stuff, isn't it? Okay, so I am going to spray some gloss spray onto the surface of these and then set them aside to dry. So let's go with raspberry. So don't forget, if you're using gloss, I kind of like that. Don't forget to dip it in water after you've used it and leave some water in the lid. Cheddar. Pretty. Have I got turquoise? Yeah. Oh, this is brand new. I'm glad Isabel can't see me using my nails as a tool. She would tell me off. I kind of like that it's beading up a little bit on there, so you might even be able to glimpse through what's behind. Okay. That is pretty cool. Now I have no idea whether the gloss is going to stick, whether it's going to come off. I just do not know. So, sometimes you have to try these things, and it might be a complete and utter disaster. It might not. I don't know. You don't know unless you try, do you? So there's no point going in with a stencil. Probably not until it's dry. And I think it would have been fine. Okay. I want to print that on something. Have I got a piece of paper? Don't want to waste it. Oh yeah. It's always good to kind of use up bits of gloss and paint that are left so that you're not wasting things, because that will make a great background for a tag or something. Okay, so then I might just quickly grab some pieces of kitchen roll, kitchen paper, and I know somewhere I have got oh, that's quite interesting. I kind of like that. Be interesting to see whether it dries or not. I'm just going to put those over here to one side and leave them alone. And then I'm just going to grab a couple of tags and see if I can mop up some of these nice colours that are in here. I don't want to waste that either. Because the colours that I used were some of my favourites. It's pretty, I like that. Shall we spritz it with water, see if we can just make it go a bit further? So that's one of the great things about using a splat box like this, is that you can go in and pick up colours. I mean, they're so pretty. Maybe a bit from down there. Ooh. Right, it's starting to go a bit muddy. Isn't that pretty? I mean, that is an effect that I could not create in any other way. Like those. So those are square Dina Wakley tags. Okay, let's put that to one side before I end up spoiling it. Okay. So then I'm going to come to the journal page, and I just want to find one of these, and I want to kind of measure what size to cut my tags to. So it's working inches. It needs to be, we go 2.5 by 4.5. Okay. I'm just going to tear them. And then I can use that one. This is how careful I am with measuring. Really not very. And then I can save that. I can print quotes onto that. Okay, by 4.5. So that's to there. And is that 4.5 as well? Oh my gosh, what are the chances of that happening? Literally don't know. Just going to tear that one. And then use that one to measure and do the same thing. Now, I mean, I could have decorated these as a whole sheet and then torn them up. 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's just go in and do maybe a couple more. So a good thing about tearing pages out your journal, now some of you are probably thinking there isn't a good thing about tearing pages out your journal. If you're going to add tags and things in there, it's going to make it quite bulky. And by taking pages out, you are helping that really, because you're not adding extra into what's already there. You're literally just kind of adding in what was there. Get my thinking here by taking them out. So I can put 2 tags in each pocket. I intend to use some of the collage paper and stamp setting on this page. And I'm kind of hoping that those gloss pockets will work really nicely. And if they don't, they don't. Hey ho, never mind. Kind of tempted to do a rainbowy page for this. And then keep the tags quite black and white. I don't know. That's Laura shouting at a pigeon, poor thing. So I'm just kind of thinking on my feet here. What to use? Because the colours on these are like they're purples, and like I say, I don't even know if they're going to dry. They might not, but we can see. I mean, I definitely think that paint pens would have worked on there, but I like the way they've beaded up, so we'll just have to wait and see whether they dry. Little experiment. I'm just going to have to go and let her in the house. 1 minute. I am back. Right, so let's crack on. Cheddar. I genuinely kind of don't know where I'm going with this yet. I'm sure it'll all become clear as I get going. This is a wet brush. I've just washed this. Oh, I do love cheddar. It's such a gorgeous colour. So because that was wet, that has allowed that paint to kind of move around a bit. I think this is one of the things I'm going to love about this journal is the fact that you can play with watering down your paint a lot more easily. Okay, so let's go cheddar, let's go turquoise, and maybe magenta. Come on, out you come. Stop being naughty. I've got the end stuck on my scissors, honestly. Not safe. Not even to be let back to apologise. Okay, so this is turquoise. I'm literally just popping this on, and I'm not going to overwork it because what I don't want to do is make a mucky brown colour. And then how about a little bit of magenta or raspberry? No, let's go magenta. Pretty. So magenta and cheddar are not going to make a manky colour. They're going to make a really nice sort of orangey warm. I'm picking up some black there, but you know, I'm not bothered. It's fine. Let's just pick that out of there so that doesn't leak through. Like that. Let's lovely thing about these brushes is that you can pick up loads of water and go in with some splats like that. Oh yes. Oh yes, oh yes. I'm going to give this a really good dry. I've got to be a little bit careful because there is transparency here and I don't want it to warp. So I'm just lifting that page up so I can let the heat and the moisture escape through the other side. It's drying off quite quickly. I kind of like those patterns. The watercolour paper really allows them to be quite organic, and look at this, I love that bit there, this bit here. Oh, gorgeous. Almost too nice to cover over. And anywhere where I think, okay, I don't like that bit, I'm just going to go in and lift it off. I'm not bothered that I've got bits of the dark on here, that's okay. Yeah, I like that. This is going to be a fun journal to play in, definitely. Definitely. Okay, so definitely not looking dry at all. I wonder if I can just give them a little helping hand. So I'm just giving the pockets a little bit of a waft with my heat tool, but I'm moving it because I don't want them to crinkle. I mean, if they don't work, we'll just wipe them off and go in with some paint pens or something else. It's not a problem. Okay, so we could do with some mark making on the back of here. These will get added to my little pile of tags and things that are ready for other projects where I've mopped up colours. It's a great way to have a little stash of things that you can raid when you're shopping for certain colours, just build up a little collection. Okay, so I used lattice last time, let's not use that again. Let's go with that one. I do like that one. This one is called Connected Dots. Just got to get them round on my ring. Here we go. I think I might just go in with I've got this magenta here, so I'm just going to, and it is watered down. I'm going to pick some of it up and see if we can get some of that on there. Is that working? Not really. Let's put a bit more out. Too watery. That's now gone bubbly. I know why that is. I used washing up liquid when I was washing my sponges earlier, and so that I think it's still got washing up liquid in it. That's quite funny. Let's try again. Ooh, it's almost gone to the other extreme now. think there is a bird tap dancing on my roof. Okay, so that'll do. That's good. I like that. Put that in there. This one is called Triangle Fence. This is a nice stencil from Dina as well. One of the older ones. I'm just going to give that a quick hit with a heat tool. Let's go with some turquoise. So I'm keeping my stenciling the same colours. When I say keeping my stenciling the same, I mean I'm using the same colours on my page that I've already gone in with. I've got 2 turquoises. Would you believe it? I bet you would. Okay. Just want a little hit of this, not too much. Because then what I plan to do is come in with a little bit of lilac. So I'm going to use Iris. Find it. I think lavender might be too pale. I think Iris will probably look quite nice on here. There you go. And then I want something with quite a small pattern. Maybe those stripes would work. So I've got this stencil. This is a very old one. It's called Marks because that's what it is. It's quite funny. It's called Marks. And I'm just going to pop some of these. I'm going to keep them all going the same way. Once I've gone with the direction, I don't generally tend to alter it when I'm doing the stenciling. And you can extend your lines by just pulling your stencil out a little bit. So I really like those colours. I think they're really pretty. Okay, so let me put that one away. Oh, that's fallen out. I tend to store my stencils on these rings now because it's quicker for me to just leaf through. Okay, I'm kind of tempted to come in with a bit of lilac around the edges on this. So by using the lilac, that's a colour that the turquoise and cheddar, turquoise and turquoise and magenta could have made. Honestly, like a complete brain fart there. Sorry about that. So I'm not introducing too much of a uncomfortable colour to the background by adding in the iris. I think that is a really pretty set of colours there. What I might do now is, does this white gloss spray? Can't remember. No, so I'm just going to change the sprayer in this, and then last packet. So I think, you know, I know people have very mixed feelings about the gloss, but as long as you keep the nozzle damp, then that one is okay. So that got used, and then someone at one of my classes forgot to rinse it. So then, of course, it wasn't having any of it, wasn't spraying ever again. So I have an idea for the tags as well now. I was drinking some peppermint tea. Get me, aren't I healthy? Okay, I'm going to use the lattice stencil again now, and I want to just give this a good shake. I've got a really sore wrist as well. Unfortunately, my right hand. Right. I might just come in with a little bit of white. I mean, isn't that pretty? Oh, I am in love. I think I want to snog it, as Dina would say. Rinse. Make sure there's some water in the end of your nozzle. You can always drop a few extra drops in, and then you can store that away. I don't know whether this black one, does that spray? No. Let's get rid of you. I'm kind of at the point now where I think I'll do that later. I want to spray with my glosses. I don't want to drop with them, and I'm not particularly bothered about spilling them, pouring them. That is not my technique. But I like the effect that spraying goes. So now I'm on a mission to spray, use my glosses more, and make sure that I keep them all working. And I think the other way to keep them working is just to use them and not forget about them. Okay, so let me set that aside. That can dry. I love that. I love those colours. Aren't they gorgeous? Right, so I was going to grab my splat box. I mean, as you can see, I haven't used the splat box, and I have decorated everywhere. So these are the things that I'm going to use for my tags in my pockets. They are torn up pages, and I'm thinking I'm going to use some clear gloss. Now you can do the same sort of technique with the white gloss or even gesso. Again, with the clear gloss, you need to make sure that you add some water to the nozzle, that you wash it after, and then it will keep working. And it's a great tool, because now when I come to add paint to these, that's going to resist, and it's going to make a really cool technique. And my thinking here is that I'm going to pull some of the colours from the background and do a light wash over the top of these tags, and then I'll start thinking about my focal points for these as well. I'm just going to give this a dry, because this clear gloss needs to be dry before I hit it with anything else. So I don't know if you can see, but I've got that lattice pattern on there. They're all dry. Are they dry? Pretty much. Dry enough. Right, let's get these moved out of there. Okay, so let me just give this a quick wipe. This is one of my favourite stencils. I do use it quite a bit. Put that over there too. Okie dokes. So I'm just going to grab my very big brush, and I've got some magenta left here. I really love how the paints play when you water them down on this new journal. It's going to be very exciting to use. Right, so that's the iris. Oh, it's not, it's mixed with some disgusting mucky colour. I'm going to put it out on here, and then I'll just wipe up. So I'm just letting it kind of soak into the paper, and then what's going to be cool is that where the clear gloss is, it'll resist, and we'll be able to wipe it off. Okay. I might just go in with a little bit of lilac on those. Cheddar. Okay, that is maybe a little bit dark. That's okay. So you can see on this one here where it's starting to resist a little bit. And then I could just go in and dry that. But I actually quite like. Let's just lift off some of these drippy bits at the sides. I like the fact that you've got a hint of a pattern under here and it's not too in your face. My background on my journal page is quite bold and busy, so I don't really mind if these are a bit paler, and I think actually in effect they might work better. Okay, so let me hold these up so you can see where the pattern has come through. So you can see there, it's really subtle, it's a really subtle effect, but it is kind of getting that first layer of interest onto these that are going to be my little tags. Okay, so let's just do a couple at a time. Let's have a look through some of the stuff that we've got here. I might not actually use the stamp set, I might use some of these images instead. Yeah, I really like that. It's gone a bit grubby on the back. Am I bothered? No, not at all. Let's put these all together and cut them into tags so that they're all going to work as one. Oop. Come on, Mr. Crocodile. Am I going to be able to get through all of you? Yes. There we go. Okay. So I do have some hole reinforcements that I can put on. These are still a little bit damp at the minute, so I'm not going to worry about that. And then, of course, I can add some little bits of ribbon into these when they're done as well. I'm going to work on these pink ones first. Sorry, I didn't mean to slurp them. How rude of me. Right, okay. Ooh. Maybe a little bit of taffy. No, this isn't taffy. I mean watery. I have favourite stencils that I reach for all the time. I have to make myself pick out other ones. Otherwise, I just end up using the same things over and over again. Favourites. And I don't think there's anything wrong with that, but when you've got as much stash as me, I think it's, you know, wasteful, isn't it, not to use it? Especially when you're forever buying new stuff. Anyway, that's a whole other problem, isn't it? Collecting is a whole different hobby to using and doing. Right, so I'm just using up what's left, really. So that's quite nice, I like that. Let's grab one of these sheets. She's quite funky, isn't she? And I think that's going to work there. And this, even though that finishes very straight across, we can extend that and make that work. And then you just go on there like that. Okay, so I'm just using the ordinary gel medium to stick these on. In a minute they're going to look a little bit lost, but we can make that work. Just kind of want to show how very easy it is to use images like this. You don't have to overcomplicate what you're doing. You've got that starting point for your journal page or tag, and you know, you can just pop it on, pop the image on, and then add your words. Job done. Is so easy. This one and this one particularly, I might leave that one. This one I feel like the hair needs kind of finishing off, so I may well grab a little bit of black. Is that still, yeah, and just no, that's a fuzzy brush. I don't want a fuzzy brush. They're also a bit fuzzy. So generally speaking, the distance between here, the eyes and the chin, is the same as to the top of the head. So I can kind of paint that in. And it should look all right. And then it looks more complete. I think I'm going to leave that one. Okay. I may even just put one tag in each pocket. Need any closer to drying or not? I think they are drying reasonably well. I wonder what will happen if I just roll over them. Will it lift it all off? Oh my gosh, I like that. Oh, kind of drip drops on them. Ooh. I might just put one tag in each pocket. That might be enough, and then I'll save those other ones for something else. Okay. I like these torn edges on my tags as well. I think they're quite cool. I just bob that in there. And what I'm going to do now is just think about introducing some little pops of colour onto these tags. So this is this is raspberry. Oh dear. Let me just grab a sponge that's not soaking wet. And I'm just going to come down here and up here. Maybe a touch there. Yeah, like that one. And then I think I'll do the same with iris. Let's go down there. I don't need much. Bring some iris onto this one. So I'm going to bring just some little touches of a slightly darker colour. I like. That corner's folded over. Do you know what? So what? Never mind. Not bothered. And then again, cheddar. And by using the same stencil, I'm kind of creating that cohesiveness across these 3 tags. Little pops of colour that speak to what's going on the page that they're going to sit on. Okay, and I'm going to do, so this one's already got some lines on it, so let's just go in and add some more. In fact, they all have, haven't they? So then we can kind of think about how do we make these images feel like they've always been there. And by adding your mark making and your stamping, those little finishing touches are how you can pull things together and make those images feel like they were meant to be there. So I might just go with a few. There. I kind of like that. They kind of work together, don't they? But yeah, I think we need little pink cheeks, because why not? This is rouge. That might still be a little bit damp actually, but never mind. You've got a sassy look, dear, haven't you? Oh, that was a bit of black. Never mind about that as well. And then I need some little catch lights. That just then starts to bring those faces alive. That's creepy. Don't know whether I like that. Okay. So now we need some quotes on here. Just need to repunch that through there. I really like these, I think they're lovely. So these images in the collage pack are going to be great for using on tags and on smaller journal pages because they are just going to work really nicely. Oh my gosh, I love this. I kind of love that. I love that they're spitty spotty. I'm just going to move these collage papers out of the way so that you guys can actually see what's going on here. So I'm conscious that I've worked in rather a messy way. So then these are going to sit inside those pockets. I'm just edging around this in black. So this background at the minute hasn't got any black on it, but I will come in with some in a minute. Once I've got these pockets in place and I know where they're going, then I can think about adding my black. Now, I know that this Dina Wakley's Media Glue sticks transparencies, so I can't see any reason why it wouldn't stick these. So I'm just going to go around like that. I think I'm going to stick these in a line. Make sure I've got the opening at the right way. Now, because I can't really put one across the centre of the page, I'm going to have to squeeze them together. Or do we go one up there, one down here? Maybe we do that. I swear these have not got bigger since I sprayed them. I can pull out the wrong way if I no. I love how the drops of gloss have formed on the front of it. Let's go in with a bit more glue there, because I've left some of it down the bottom. I'm tempted to just cut this one a bit smaller. Let's just do it. So fun just to use some rubbish really to create something really pretty. Now they've dried really nicely. Do you agree? I really like how they've come together. And then these are going to sit in here. I like that you can kind of peek through to see what's behind. We need some quotes on here, definitely. So, I seem to have collected a lot of paint on my desk. And we definitely need some stamping on here in black. So I think I'm going to come in with a little bit of text to start off with. Yep, and then some spots. And I'm going to do the spots near where I've done the text stamping. So that's just going to help bring a little bit more contrast. The spots are going to work with the spotty nature of the gloss on here. I'm pretty sure that is going to stick. Excuse me. You know, I don't tend to be mega rough with my journals, so I think it'll be fine. Let's put that out the way while we get some quotes on these. Maybe some white spots too. Just looking for the typed ledgers. Sometimes the first bit I pick out is like, yeah, I'm using that. So this quote says, I like things to happen, and if they don't happen, I like to make them happen. I think that one might work quite well on here. There's a lot of words. Let's get those stuck on. I've literally just been using that. Why is it glued up all of a sudden? Come on. It's going to snip the head off you as well. You have to be naughty. It's not okay. Oops. Okay. And then, how about this one? Might turn out better than you think. I mean, that works for the pockets, definitely, because I wasn't really sure whether it would actually work, but it did. So that's good. Put that up there. Love. And this bit, I'm just going to use the end of the quote. Start where you are and change the ending. Okay. I'm just thinking, I have an idea of what this needs, and I'm just going to look for a quick stamp set. I have what I'm after. It's a very directional stamp. Can't remember what it's called. Yeah, that's it. And it's in Make Things Happen. Let me show you this one. I want to add a bit more black onto this page, so I'm going to grab my ink pad. Now this is a situation where I will put them going different ways. So here I may well do one pointing. What are you doing? like that. Because then that's going to link with the nod to the black, isn't it? That's on the tags. Oh, I've smudged that one. Never mind. Oh, that's all right, still works. And it's all kind of pointing. Pointy, pointy, pointy. There we go. Like. And then some little bits of ribbon. I think I've got some white. I think white ribbon would be quite nice on this, rather than any colour, because there's quite a lot of colour going on the page. Oops. Honestly, so much stuff. I have to be a little bit careful pulling this through because this is very soft paper, and oh yeah, I like that. That is nice. Nice. Let's put that in there. I really love how this has come together. Sometimes you can have surprising results when you try new things, can't you? Using bits of rubbish that I would normally throw in the bin makes you look at packaging in a whole new way. Honestly, see what I mean? I've just pulled that all the way through. Right, okay, so that's not going to work. Too rough. Claire, you are too rough. I'm just going to put some staples in there, which will get hidden, so I'm just going to have to be super, super gentle. There, that'll do. And then I might just pop another staple in there just to stabilise that a little bit. So there we go. After saying you need to be careful, I then went and did the very thing, didn't I? Okay. I like how that's come out. It's very colourful. I mean, is that a problem? Absolutely not. I like that you can kind of glimpse the tags behind the little pockets. I think it might be nice to pull a bit more white on so it just calms down. Let's do that, because that's what my brain is saying. We need some more calm on this. So I'm just going to quickly grab a bit of white on here. And I don't want to lose too much of this colour because it is pretty. But if I can just knock some of it back a little bit, it might be quite nice. There's a lot going on. That's already feeling better, I think. What does Dina say? Like, don't fall in love with your backgrounds. But when you do, it's difficult, isn't it? Not to. And I might have to staple these in. Not sure. We'll see. Okay, I like that. And then I think just to finish off, I'm going to grab my fan brush. Oh, my water's gone so mucky. Where's my spritzer? And then I'm going to leave that to dry. Okay, so there is my completed journal page using packaging from the replacement sprayers from Dina to make pockets in my journal, having used gloss on them. Yeah, it's a technique that works really well, creates that really fun kind of raindrop effect. So save your packaging, folks. You never know what you could do with it. Thanks for watching, and I hope to see you again soon. Bye. Here's a close-up.